Welcome back, everybody, to more Final Fantasy VI. I am Drak, obviously, and we are continuing on in the Phoenix Cave. We've taken care of one of the 8 dragons, I believe is the number. If I'm getting that wrong, somebody will let me know, but it is a bonus that we will be pursuing. So last episode we took care of that, and we are actually getting ready to finish up the Phoenix Cave because the dragon's actually near the end of it. So this will be awesome. We're making progress, people. Yay! And also, happy Thursday to everybody. I hope all is well with all of you. I hope everything is going okay. For me, it's just busy because now we're back into active schedule, and what makes that even worse is that my hard drives are about to literally kaput. I've almost got every single one of them full, just from all of the footage that we've been doing for the holidays, as well as things like the Drak and Shadow videos, the Let's Plays that me and Andrea do, as well as my stuff, Final Fantasy in particular, and also the Tale of Drakvu. So I'm running on very little hard drive space, but thankfully I have since gotten a brand new hard drive, and we're just moving stuff over to help clear out some of that extra clutter. And of course, I'm also getting ready to go into a full-on editing schedule because I've got so much stuff to edit. You guys have no idea. I've got at least 3 podcasts that I'm editing, plus all of these videos, plus all that stuff. So it's going to be amazing if I can make this work and keep my sanity intact. But again, I hope all is well with you guys. And, you know, as much as I complain about being so busy, I probably would have it no other way. So as weird as that sounds, that's kind of how I want it, because it allows for me to work on the stuff that I love, as well as being able to hang out with you guys and continue to, I guess, build a media resume that people can look into. I actually get that question a lot, is like, what is the ultimate goal that you're trying to do here? Like, are you trying to be... And usually those questions always end up in this direction. Are you trying to be famous like Markiplier? Are you trying to be the next AVGN? Are you trying to be the next Game Grumps? Blah, 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 blah. That happens a lot. And frankly, I've said it at cons and things like that, that if you are coming into YouTube with that ambition, like that ambition only, and you don't like love this, you're doomed to fail, because it's not going to happen overnight, especially in the gaming scene on YouTube. That's way too oversaturated. So at that point, you really just have to love what you do, and I do. So that's usually my answer to it, is that if you're going in specifically for that purpose, you're almost destined to disappoint yourself. Instead, you should approach it from the angle of, am I enjoying what I'm doing? Is what I'm creating an enjoyable product for those who watch? If any of those are yes, then you make it work, and you expand from there. I find my content entertaining for you guys, and therefore I reach it out to as many people as I can through Twitter and through Facebook and various other outlets. I'm actually considering going to Reddit. The only reason I haven't gone to Reddit is because I'm not... I already have enough problems with Facebook and Twitter. Adding Reddit into the mix just worries me. So, but I'm actually trying to go into the process of learning all the tags and everything that I need to be able to do well in Reddit, and then at that point, maybe gain a little bit more saturation for the channel. Because, I mean, that's like the biggest piece of advice that anybody's ever given to me with the gaming YouTube scene, is reach out on Reddit and let people see your product, and then they'll move it around. But we're also living in an era when YouTube is not necessarily the easiest thing to make work for yourself. You actually do have to look into other avenues. Because now with new algorithms or the new YouTube algorithm basically saying that what's new is what's king, and legacy stuff like, say, a Let's Play doesn't necessarily fit into that, it's a little annoying in that regard, because like you could see a video that's like part 42 of something, unless it's like the Game Grumps or Markiplier or Far From Subtle, then people might not necessarily look into it. So it's just one of those things where you have to work around the YouTube algorithm. You have to go through all of these bits and pieces of red tape. And again, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, then you're not willing to do it. And it's not enjoyable for you, and you will move on to something else. And it's understandable. I mean, I know people who do this super casual, and they've even admitted to me, like, I had actually done this the way that, like, a hardcore YouTuber does, I'd probably drive myself insane. And so for them, it works that way. But anyway, yeah, so there you go. There's a little bit of a YouTube lecture from Drak. Don't worry too much about the algorithms or anything like that. Just do what you love. That's really why I put this stuff out for you guys, is I want to be able to put out a product that you guys can like, but also something that is enjoyable for me as well as you and anybody who wants to look into it. So I guess at this point, this is usually when I get into like the business of the channel, because that's what Final Fantasy has kind of become. There really isn't a whole lot aside from lots of videos coming out. In fact, I'm happy to say that later on today, my second to last review of 2016 will be up, and that will be my check-in review for Final Fantasy 15. I know a few people are going to be a little disappointed, but here's the bottom line of it. Because of all of the other backed up reviews, I have not been able to put that much time into 15. What I have been able to put in, I have enjoyed. And that's pretty much what the video comes down to, but I would say there's a little bit more than that. I go into my thoughts on the story and whether or not I think it's going to be a better or worse part of the Roman numeral legacy kind of thing. And here we go. Here is Locke. So Locke is gone. So all of the empty chests are because of him. Locke! Oh my gosh! We found you! You're all safe. Behold, a legendary relic that can restore life. Okay. It's magicite. It looks like magicite. It does. That's because it is. Correct. Legend has it that ages ago the Phoenix was turned to stone. In other words, she was an Esper. And many legends are based on facts. Yeah, kinda. This has some major cracks in it, though. I fear it may have lost its power over time. Who knows? Phoenixes are interesting things. I wasn't able to save Rachel. I've lost all sense of purpose. I don't know if we actually went into his story, but give me a second. My life will have no meaning until I can do this, until I can right this terrible wrong. I want to say that we did this when we walked through Kolingen for the first time. But basically the story here is that Locke grew up, I think? No. Locke was in Kolingen and he actually fell in love with a girl named Rachel, but there was a horrible accident that left Rachel in a comatose state. Like, to the point where she's just not waking up. It's pretty much she's a vegetable at this point. And so Locke feels personally responsible, and this is him kind of righting that wrong. It's actually one of the most beautiful parts of the game to me. Because not only is there hope, but there's also redemption for our characters. As we've seen for Cyan in the past. If only the magicite didn't bear those deep cracks. I think you've been wasting your time, young man. Maybe, but there's always hope. And with that, the Phoenix starts to manifest. Ah! The magicite's gonna shatter! I think it already did, dude. I think we passed that point. Locke. Rachel! Locke, I've dreamed of seeing you. I wanted to hear your voice. Rachel. The Phoenix has given me so little time. I have to leave again soon. But I have something that I must tell you. Locke, with you, I was so happy. In the instant that the accident occurred, I thought only of you. And about the joy you brought me. Thank you, Locke. I'll never forget you. Rachel? I have to go now. I'll always love you. You must now cast off the anguish you've been harboring inside for so long. Today, I set your heart free. You must learn to love yourself again and regain your self-respect. Phoenix, be reborn again and give your power to Locke. No jokes during this. This is an awesome moment. Rachel! And with that, the Phoenix is reborn. In magicite form, anyway. So if I actually didn't, I don't think I did, and I apologize for that. The whole Colin Gen thing is so pivotal to Locke's character, and also explains why he has apprehensions with not helping people in need. Locke. Thanks. I'm okay. I feel lighter than air. From here on, I'll be alright. Let's go. We have work to do. See, a lot of this is still just resolution for characters. Cyan had to resolve the fact that he felt guilty over his wife and wife and son's death. Celeste had to resolve the inner turmoil she was dealing with due to her upbringing, due to her thoughts on Locke, all of that. What's up? And that's what this is trying to do. And this is amazing for anybody walking through the first time. X Potion, Phoenix Down, X Ether, Elixir, Flame Shield, Valiant Knife. And by the way, Phoenix Down was spelled incorrectly. That's actually how it was spelled in the original Final Fantasy III. The Treasures of the Phoenix Cave. Remember all those empty chests? This SOB has been taking loot from us. Right, let's move out. We have an appointment with Kefka. Yes, Locke, we do. It's time to go kick butt and chew bubblegum. Except Kefka's got the bubblegum. We gotta get it from him. So, yeah, this is another beautiful moment of the story where Locke finds his own redemption for the accident, as well as being able to have Rachel come to life. And here's the beautiful part of it. We're guessing it's Rachel. It could easily have been Phoenix that was talking. It easily could have been. And none of us, like, no player wants to assume that it was. And it was completely Rachel telling him these things. And I'm one of them. I want to believe it was Rachel, but I've had that argument with people who's like, well, that technically could have been Phoenix talking. And Phoenix was only trying to tell him what he wanted to hear. That may be the case, but I would also think that Phoenix would not necessarily lie to him. I think she would tell him that this is what he needs to hear. He needs to move on. That's what Rachel wanted him to do. So, it's a beautiful moment, and I love the Phoenix Cave specifically for that, because it's one of the most beautiful moments in the game, right next to, yes, the bad ending, letting Sid die, and having hope rekindled. Because, again, it falls into this whole concept. The world is destroyed all around us, and there's hope being rekindled amongst all of us. Strago regained his hope when he thought Realm had died. Cyan, like I said, got redeemed for what he considers his past mistakes. Edgar redeems himself for his past mistakes. It's all full circle. And unfortunately, that's kind of the last one that we get. There's one more, but we're going to deal with it later because it deserves its own kind of part and its own moment. So what's going to happen now is people can see I'm already getting ready for another big dungeon. The next big place that we need to go is Narshi. Narshi has seen better days since the cataclysm that shocked Gaia, for lack of a better term, the world. And it just so happens that we're going to get a couple of experts out of there, and we actually do get a couple of characters back. One you're familiar with, one you're not. And we want to make sure that we get these characters because the more characters we have, the more prepared we are for Kefka's Tower. So, with that being said, let me get back into... Is there any other business that I need to take care of? Yeah, we're getting ready to wrap up the review, so you guys can look forward to that. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, today is the Final Fantasy 15 check-in review, and I will be getting... Like, a lot of people have been asking, are you going to get back to the check-ins? Will you consider them 2017 reviews? No. They are 2016 reviews. They are going to be simply because I want to be able to give you guys my final thoughts on it. And also, just as an added measure, I've been getting this asked too. With the videos that have gotten check-in reviews, are they being considered for top 10 videos? Yes, but here's the thing. Since I'm not too far in them, it's hard to give them a solid number because of that. I'm not necessarily restricting them to honorable mentions or something like that, but if they do make the list, they're going to be pretty low. And it's simply because I'm not done yet. And there's a lot of other games that I've been able to make my way through this year that I am done with and that have earned their place on that list. Like, I can tell you guys that right now, 2.5 of those lists have been done. I'm ironing out the details and the final placements for the best one. Because there's been a lot of really great games and, dare I say, emotional games that I've been able to play this year. And so at that point, I'm just trying to iron out the places for everybody on that list. But yes, there is a possibility that games like I Am Setsuna, like Final Fantasy 15, World of Final Fantasy, might make a best or worst list. But if they do, they're going to be fairly low because they're incomplete. The other thing, too, that I also have to announce is I think I told you guys maybe a couple of parts ago that my first review in 2017 was going to be in February. I can now say that's not correct because I've now seen a couple of January release dates that I am interested in. They are indie games, but I am very excited for them, so they might get vlog reviews at that point. Oh, by the way, hi, Ultros! Yes, Ultros is still alive, people. He's the receptionist for the Coliseum, and that's actually what we're doing next before we head over to Narshi. We've got a character to go get, and this is actually how you get Shadow back. So, care to fight in the Coliseum, here's what you gotta do. You gotta donate an item. I'll get back to the business in a second. You have to donate an item, and it's a specific one, and then you will have to fight Shadow. Once you fight him, you get him. And right now I'm just looking for it. It is the... Was it the assassin or the... No. I think it was the striker. Yeah, the striker. So you put the striker up, and then you get to fight Shadow. And basically you can pick a character to fight him. But here's the thing. You don't get control of the character. It is completely random in what they do. So I didn't actually think this one through. I really should have picked a character that would just instantly nuke Shadow. But instead I just picked Edgar, hoping that I would get control. And I completely forgot I don't. Thankfully, though, Edgar's kind of overpowered for me. So hopefully this doesn't last too long, but, well... Is that it, really? No, never mind. That's it. One smack, he's done. I get my striker back. But more importantly, I get yet another party member. The one I've been working so hard to get. What are you doing here? The only thing I know how to do is fight. Well, that I believe. Why not come with us? Well... I mean, we can't pay you, but... First, I need to see how far I can get here. Now, that can be taken the wrong way. He's joined, as far as any... Like, he is joined. He just says that. I don't know why, but it kind of... Yeah, it kind of gives you that impression that, like, you have to stay in the Coliseum and let him go further. But, no, you can get him as a party member right now. So, we have Shadow. And, in fact, this is where I actually went to go do a little bit of a grinding break to not only catch Shadow up magic-wise, but also give us a couple of levels to prepare for Narshi. So, that being said, back into the business. So yeah, there are going to be some earlier 2017 reviews. I am happy to announce that one of them is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Mega Battle. The Power Rangers beat-em-up that got announced a couple of months ago that looks a lot like Castle Crashers. I'm going to do a review for that. And also Double Dragon 4. So you guys can look forward to those reviews very soon. They'll probably be vlog reviews because I'm still going to be playing a lot of catch-up. But then in February, you will probably get at least one formal review, in particular for Horizon Zero Dawn. A game that I saw a couple of years ago at E3, and I've been excited for ever since. So, I'm looking forward to giving that to you guys. As far as other videos, let's see, what else do I need to address here? Oh, Heroes of the Storm. Heroes of the Storm still coming back, people. It's still happening. What I'm doing, though, in the meantime, is I've got some other videos that are going to be coming out very soon, celebrating 20 years of Diablo, so you guys can look forward to that. And then eventually, my plan is to go back to Heroes, people. It's going to happen. Also, with the monthly check-ins for Stardew Valley, that's still happening. I'm still playing Stardew Valley, and I would love to give you guys check-ins where I'm at in the game. As far as other things, reviews, tries, they're all happening. So you are going to get a Drak tries for Power Rangers Mega Battle, as well as Horizon Zero Dawn, all that stuff. In fact, literally yesterday, I actually uploaded a Drak tries that I recorded over the holidays with the Shadow Blazer himself. It just so happens that he was able to get his copy of Shantae Half Genie Hero and was very insistent that I bring it on to a Drak tries. So we did. And you guys can watch that as of right now. So I would recommend wholeheartedly that if you haven't, please do so. I mean, obviously after this part is done. And as for Geek News, there's so much in store. So a lot of people have been asking, when are you going to get this? When are we going to get our first episode of this new sub-podcast, Why We Geek? I'm actually editing the first episode right now, and I'm hoping to get it up by next week. So at least it will be on YouTube. If there's enough popularity, then I will set up a separate RSS feed for Why We Geek. What are you doing here? Doesn't matter, really. Nothing left anyway. Yeah, that's how bad shape Narshi is in. But it just so happens that... so he's basically giving you a hint as to... Oh, I can't remember if it's to get the Moogle charm? It might be. So yeah, there's the hint. One of the characters that we're going to get back is Mog. Mog just came back to Narshi after the world ended and just kind of stuck here. But it just so happens that he's also got a buddy here that he's going to let us bring with. And that'll be very helpful. But yeah, Why We Geek I'm hoping to get up next week, and it's going to be YouTube only, but if there's enough popularity, I will do a separate RSS feed. And then also people have been asking for the other podcast. You guys will be getting stuff on that very, very soon. I am very excited to announce that. In fact, we're going to do a full-on introduction in the form of like a kind of what me and the Shadow Blazer did with Battlefront 2 and Dynasty Warriors Gundam Reborn. So if you don't know what that is, go check that out on Drak and Shadow. And we're going to do something similar to that, and it's going to be very themed to what we talk about on the podcast. So after I get that out, then we'll spoil it. Okay? That work for people? Let's see. Any other major announcements that I need to... I think that's pretty much it. We're very much in line with what we're trying to do. Also, there might be a little bit of a short hiatus for Resident Evil, as Aldo and me have not been able to get together to record more material, but we'll keep you guys posted as that goes along. We are going to finish it, and in fact, I'm actually getting ready to start up yet another Gaming with the Geeks with Brinton. So a lot of people should be excited about that. And I'm excited to bring the first parts out to you as soon as I can. But that's going to go ahead and do it for this week. So when we get back, we will continue on in the ruins of Narshi and continue to prepare for our final assault against Kefka.